You're listening to Sox in the Basement, a production of the Broadcast Basement Limited, where every show is 30 minutes of good and comes from a basement bar on the south side of Chicago. Pull up a stool, pour a cold one, and join us right now for Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at soxinthebasement.com. Welcome down to Sox in the Basement. My name is Chris, bellying up to my 9-foot homemade oak bar, and pour yourself a cold one. Or wherever you're at, pour yourself a cold one. It is now time for another simulated game as part of a full simulated season with Sox in the Basement. And currently the Chicago White Sox are 12 games over 500, on the cusp of claiming at least a share of first place in the AL Central as they chase the Twins hot on their heels and sit at 29-17. Meanwhile, the Toronto Blue Jays came in 3 games over 500, and guess what? They're at 500. That's because we took the first 3 games of this 4-game set, and the White Sox are going for the sweep this afternoon. The White Sox are 11-4 so far in May, with one of the hottest offenses in Major League Baseball. This White Sox simulated season is done every single time with MLB The Show 20, and brought to you proudly by Cork and Kerry at the Park, found at 33rd and Princeton. One day the doors will open, but until then, keep a Southside tradition alive and well and get yourself some really great food. Visit Grubhub for Cork and Kerry at the Park, or go direct to corkandkerryatthepark.com. Without further ado, we go to the finale of this 4-game set. The White Sox have won 5 of their last 6 and 7 out of their last 10, and go for the 4-game sweep at Guaranteed Rate Field now. And welcome to Guaranteed Rate Field on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The 29-17 White Sox take on the 23-23 Toronto Blue Jays. It is a 4-game set that the White Sox have won 3 games in already, and they go for the big 4-game sweep today on Family Sunday. Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Lanuti. Dallas Keuchel takes the mound here on Sox in the Basement. 9 starts so far, 5-1 record. 4.47 ERA over 52 and a third innings, 51 hits and 17 walks. That's a 1.30 whip. He also has 44 strikeouts. The lefty will stand on the mound and face a Blue Jays team that must be shell-shocked after the doubleheader that they lost both games yesterday. And Joe Panik, hitting just under 200 at 198, steps in the left-handed batter's box. Grandal calls for the pitch, and here it is. Swung on and fouled off down the first base line. 0-1, and this game is underway. Joining me in the booth today, I have a very special guest. My 12-year-old son, Dominic. You may remember him on Sox in the Basement, as that ball is inside a 2-seam fastball, 1-1. He was trying to start his own podcast before the pandemic broke out. How's that going, buddy? Did it ever get off the ground, or did the pandemic just kill your podcast?
So it's going pretty good, actually. We got a lot of listeners.
Really?
I'm thinking about starting advertisements.
Blowing outside on a 2-seamer, 70 degrees today, a beautiful day. 9-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from left field. You have listeners? Really?
Yeah. Huh?
What's your hashtag again?
Hashtag drink 'em.
Really? Oh. High and outside cut fastball, 3-1 the count. The Cleveland Indians lead the Minnesota Twins in Cleveland 2-0. A White Sox win today and a Cleveland victory would give the White Sox a share of first place. They have been chasing the Twins all season long, and at one point were down 4 games behind them. The Twins barely lose any games. Inside 2-seamer misses on a 3-2 count. And unfortunately, Keuchel has put on a guy hitting 198 in the season to lead off this game. He pounds the glove. Panik goes down the first, where Encarnacion is playing today. Let's go around the horn and tell people where everyone is going to be today, okay, Dom? We got Yasmani Grandal behind the plate. Encarnacion is playing first today for Abreu, who's DHing. He's still in the game. Nick Madrigal's at second. Anderson's at short. Third base, Yoan Moncada. Left field, Eloy Jimenez. Center field is going to be Leury Garcia. Going to be a day off for Luis Robert. I'm sorry you're going to miss him today. And then in right field, we got Nomar Mazara playing for the White Sox. First pitch outside to Bo Bichette, who's hitting .213. 1-0 the count with no outs here in the top of the first and a runner on. Swung on and missed an inside cut fastball. The count is even at 1. So tell me a little bit more about this podcast. You say you got listeners. What do you talk about when there isn't any White Sox baseball? You know, you're not simulating games, are you?
I am simulating.
You can't. No, hold on a second.
No, I told you a while back I was simulating games.
Outside pitch, 2-1 the count. No, I started doing this. I was the first one to come up with this.
Yeah, but
opening day, when everybody thought this was going to be a 2-week thing, I started this. Now, I know other people are trying to catch up. We've been doing it every day since opening day. When did you start doing it?
I started it before opening.
No, you did. That's impossible.
That's not impossible.
Keuchel's 3-1, and I'm already frustrated here in the top of the first inning. The Reds lead Milwaukee 4-3 in their afternoon game in Cincinnati. Couple of teams are playing 4-game series in which the fourth game is on a Monday. Sometimes I scratch my head at these schedules. Bouncing ball to Anderson, flipped over to Madrigal at second. Tough play at first. He's not going to get Bichette. So a fielder's choice right there. 1 out. Bichette exchanges positions at first base with Panic. And Vlad Guerrero Jr. comes up hitting .301. He had the only run of the game for the Blue Jays in Game 2 yesterday evening when the White Sox won 9-1, but he went 3 for 4 with a solo shot in the left field, takes an inside fastball for a strike, 0-1 the count. Keuchel comes in again, misses on a slider at the knees, 1-1. Are these your favorite uniforms? It's Sunday. The White Sox wear the old 1983 unis. What is your, as a 12-year-old boy, what are your favorite White Sox uniforms, Dominic?
These are probably my favorite White Sox uniforms.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really like them.
Chop foul down the third base line. What do you like about them more than the pinstripes?
I like the red and black. I think that's kind of cool.
There's no black. It's navy blue.
Oh.
They're red, white, and blue. That's what they have. There's no black. It's cool that you thought it was black, and I have to get your eyes checked. Count is even at 2. The pitch on the way from Keuchel, swung on and fouled off down the third base line. Just foul, otherwise that would have been extra bases for Guerrero Jr. The count is even. Quick pitch from Keuchel, fouled off now into the stands down the first base line. Dallas Keuchel works against Vlad Jr. So yeah, that's a navy blue along with the red. And it's a red, white, and blue thing. And now those were the uniforms in the 80s for the White Sox. That's when I grew up. Now, these are not the standard uniforms. These are throwback unis. So you like the throwback unis, as the count goes full to Guerrero, better than the actual uniforms of the White Sox.
Yes.
Fouled off down the first base line. Yes. Interesting. You know, the ones that they have now are the same that your grandfather used to have. White Sox had those pinstripes back in the 50s, late 50s into the 60s. And those were his uniforms. He loved those the best. He walks Guerrero on an inside 2-seamer on a full count. So 2 free passes given up by Keuchel. He's got 1 out in the middle there on a fielder's choice. Not an efficient inning for him. We saw Lucas Giolito yesterday as Lourdes Gurriel Jr. comes in. He's on a hit streak. I believe he's up to 8 games. The righty in the 4 spot's hitting .293. We saw Giolito put 2 on in each of the first 3 innings yesterday and not give up any runs. He just kept moving them around on the base paths, but not letting any of them score. Pitch down the first base line. Diving stop by Encarnacion comes off his glove. He's going to get it over to the pitcher, Keuchel, covering first. The ball went into foul territory. Encarnacion knocked it there. He stopped it from getting out to the outfield. He scrambles over, throws from his knees to Keuchel covering first. The runners advance second and third with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Teoscar Hernandez is batting 5th, but he's only hitting .158. That's bad, isn't it, Dom? .158. That's very bad. Now he's going to pop this one straight back and out of play behind home plate. 24 pitches so far for Keuchel. That's not a good inning, because if you got 9 innings and a guy on average goes 90 to 100 before he loses his effectiveness, he doesn't look like he's going long in the game, right?
No, not at all.
Are you learning math still when you're doing the homeschooling, or is it just basically a free-for-all now, and then you go play Fortnite?
Yeah, no, I'm learning math.
You are?
Yeah.
All right.
1 + 1 = 7.
That's your school system there. Inside cut fastball, swung on and missed. Hernandez has sat down. Keuchel claps into his glove, and the White Sox are out of an inning which he walked 2 guys. Midway through the first, no score here at the rate. Ryan Borucki comes out. 9 starts so far, 3-4 record, 5.06 earned run average, and a whip of 1.18. 46 hits and 17 walks got him that. 38 strikeouts so far, over his 53 and a third innings. Borucki is a lefty, and Tim Anderson is a .337 hitting righty with 4 home runs that leads off for the White Sox. He stands in his glistening white uniform and takes a sinker high for strike 1, 0-1 the count. So, do you know anything about geography, young man? Do you know what geography is? Why are you looking at me like that? Answer the question.
I don't know.
You don't know what geography is? Where things are.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I pay to put you in private school. 1-1 the count. The next pitch on the way from Borucki. Swung on, sent over to first, flipped over to Borucki, who's going to cover first. And there's one gone on the 3-1 putout. I want you to ask me any questions today as a young baseball fan. If I use terminology you don't understand, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's what I want you to do today for me.
Okay.
This is a family Sunday here at the ballpark. I brought one of the members of my family, as Yasmani Grandal is hitting .314 now. He was hitting 100 points less at the beginning of the month.
Wow.
He's on an insane tear. He's 0-1 on that foul ball. He's on the right side of the plate. He does a little bit better from the left, more power there. He now chops this one to first, and the first baseman, with a 3 unassisted, is getting an awful lot of work. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, and Jose Abreu comes to the plate. Abreu's hitting .270 with 11 home runs. He finally hit a home run after a 2-week layoff last night. Went deep to right center in all of his at-bats. Nubber in front of the mound. Borucki cannot get off the mound quick enough. It's an infield hit for Abreu, who beats out the throw. That ball bounced straight up in the air, ended up directly in between the catcher and the pitcher. Borucki fields it and spins and throws a bang-bang play at first base. Has Abreu safe, and Yoan Moncada comes to the plate, hitting .323 with 8 home runs and 27 RBIs. He's got a .952 OPS, and he immediately skies this one into right field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Moncada, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So I was hoping something was going to get going for you, big guy. That went quick, huh?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, moves quick. End of the first, no score. We go to the top of the second. My name is Chris. This is my son Dominic. We're in Sox in the Basement. It's brought to you by Cork and Carry at the park at 33rd and Princeton. Award-winning burgers. They have a Latin burger over there that has guacamole, chorizo sausage on it. Spicy thing.
That sounds good.
You like the spicy foods, right?
Yeah, I do.
They got hot wings there, too.
That also sounds
They also have a buffalo wing sandwich or buffalo chicken sandwich that they have over there, a wrap. Check out the menu, complete and full, available through Grubhub or direct at corkandcarryatthepark.com. Dallas Keuchel is 1-1 to Randall Krawchuk. The right fielder is hitting .317. Now he misses outside. 2-1 the count to lead off the top of the second inning. Next pitch, high, fouled back, a 2-seam fastball, high in the zone, 2-2 the count. Keuchel in the wind, the pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back, a slider on the inside corner at 78 miles per hour. Count is even at 2. Keuchel with a big kick. This one is grounded in between Madrigal and Anderson. Madrigal with a jump throw over to first is not in time. A shift was on with Madrigal at second base. He was directly behind the bag. He fields it and has to throw it from the shortstop side of the bag on a jump throw in the grass. And he almost gets him. It's a pretty play, right?
Yeah.
And that was,
that was really close.
I'm surprised he doesn't get him there. That's a quick runner going down the line. And there's one on with no outs here at the top of the second. For the second straight inning, Dallas Keuchel puts the leadoff man on, and Travis Shaw comes to the plate hitting .244. 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. He has not played very much this year. He's getting a start here on Sunday. Shaw's a lefty. It's an odd thing to put him in against a left-handed batter, because he fouls this one off. So let me ask you this, as a young baseball fan, why do I think that it's odd to have a lefty in the lineup against a left-handed pitcher? What do you think is easier? Is it easier for a righty to hit a left-handed pitcher or a lefty to hit a left-handed pitcher? 2-1 the count.
I think it would be easier for a lefty to hit off a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, you're wrong. Watch the arm. You see how the arm starts behind the batter? As Keuchel throws, his arm is out here. The guy has to look over his shoulder almost. While if he was on the other side of the plate, he'd see the ball completely from start to finish. He loses it for a second. Then it comes over his shoulder, and he strikes out right there on a pitch that comes over his shoulder, high and inside, and Dallas Keuchel has his second strikeout. You see right there on that pitch as you look at it, how it dips over his shoulder, and by the time he sees it coming through, he's underneath it because he's trying to guess where that ball is going to go. So righties on righties, righty pitchers normally do better against righty hitters, and lefty pitchers normally do better against lefty hitters, but it's not always the case. Danny Jansen comes up the catcher, hitting .275. He caught the first game in the doubleheader yesterday and then sat down in the second game. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs for him only this year, 736 OPS. He is their starting catcher, a rookie that had a lot of fanfare when he was down the minor league system, but has not really caught on the way they thought he was going to, although .275 is still pretty good. 1-1 pitch, misses low and inside, a changeup. 2-1 the count. Keuchel with 40 pitches so far, 23 of them strikes. And we are only with 1 out at the top of the second inning. Now, we saw him with really bad stuff the last time out, fight through it. And then we saw 2 games before that where it was lights out. The runner's going to go, the throw down by Grandal, the second, the play, the tag, he's out. He got him. You called that before the umpire said it, young man. Take us through this play. What do you see?
I just see the guy run and the catcher just throw the ball, basically.
Yeah. It's great color commentary right there. It's amazing. You're already better than half of them in the league with that. Tagged him on the foot, coming into the bag, swung on and missed. Now he strikes out the batter. So right away the inning's over. The fans cheer. Keuchel walks in triumphantly, and midway through the second, each team has a hit, and neither has a run on the south side. Bottom of the second inning, Eloy Jimenez comes up to the plate, .276 hitter, 34 RBIs and 11 home runs so far in the season, number 74. And you picked up an Eloy Jimenez jersey, if I'm not mistaken. It's your first jersey you ever picked out. You did it at the ball game. So why Eloy?
Because you said so.
I didn't say so. I just suggested. Well, you were looking at somebody that wasn't going to be on the team the next year. You can't get a Yomer jersey. He's stuck. Inside pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. There's a shift on to Jimenez. 3 guys in between second and third on the infield. Inside pitch now misses. 1-1 from Borucki. The next pitch on the way. Swung on and chopped foul down the third base line. That's only the 10th pitch for Ryan Borucki, who is having a much more efficient game than our starter, Dallas Keuchel. Count is 1-2. In the 5th inning, the Indians continue to lead the Twins 2-0 as he goes into the wind. Swung on and missed at an outside change, and Jimenez sits down. First strikeout of the game for the Toronto starter. Edwin Encarnacion comes up to the plate. He has hit 13 home runs so far this season, has a .256 average and 29 RBIs, a .937 OPS. First pitch outside, 1-0 the count. The righty stands in, fouls off a sinker down the first base line. Now a low outside sinker misses, 2-1. Any questions so far as you're listening to this? Anything that pops up in your head like, what the heck is my dad talking about? As this one's lifted out in the right field. On his horse comes the right fielder, cannot make the play. Krinchuk and the rest of the outfield was on a shift, expecting Edwin to hit that ball to left field or at least center. He puts a duck snort out into shallow right. They can't get to in time, so Encarnacion with a base hit. And here comes Nomar Mazara. The average has come up a little bit recently. He's hitting .222. And Ricky Renteria has been using him exclusively against righties and every once in a while moving him in there against a lefty pitcher like he is today. He struggled early in the season with lefties, but now seems to be coming along. He was 1 for 4 in the last game he played in. That was the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. He hit a triple in the 9th inning that scored 2 runs, pulling the White Sox within 1. They later tied it on a Luis Roberts suicide squeeze. And then in the 10th inning, Yohan Moncada, it's a solo shot and they walk off. Outside sinker misses, 2-1 with one out in the bottom of the second. Now he sends this one down the third base line, hooking foul. 2-2 the count. Encarnacion is very slow. Not a threat to go, a moderate lead at first. Sends this one out into the gap in left center field. Get down, it will not. Nice play out in center as he tracks the ball. And there's two gone here in the bottom of the second. So, at any point this season, do you think you'll be able to beat your father at MLB The Show? As Nick Madrigal steps up. He's about as tall as you are, Nick Madrigal, as you can see.
I don't know, because you're better at me in this game.
Yeah, I'm much better at this game. Much, much better. I'm better at you. Everything except for Fortnite, I'm better. Inside changeup for a strike. 0-2 quickly to Madrigal, is hitting 262.
Not everything.
What do you think you're better at than me, other than Fortnite?
Rocket League.
Okay, your newfangled
NHL
stupid
19.
Oh, I'm better at NHL 19.
No,
that's
you're
a base
not.
hit. No, it's not. See, you got me all confused. I didn't even call that right. Looked like it was getting over to second baseman's head. Instead, it drops in front of him. Madrigal's out on a 4-3 putout after two. There's no score. You're completely wrong. This idea that you can beat me at games other than Fortnite.
But I can.
I don't believe that. Maybe we'll make that another thing that we do. We'll start a podcast, Dad Beats Kid, at video games. It's a working title.
I don't think it would be very fun if I lost every.
It'd be fun for me.
Yeah.
Derek Fisher's up. He's quickly 1-1.
But would it be fun for the viewers?
Well, first of all, they're listeners if it's a podcast. Are we doing a video podcast?
Oh, yeah, we're doing
You want
video
people to
podcast.
watch you anguish when you lose to me? 2-1 the count here in the top of the third inning. It's the Family Waterproofing Solutions third inning. As Keuchel now misses outside, 3-1 the count, a hitter's count. And he's in danger of putting the third leadoff hitter on in a row through the first 3 innings in this game. You want a video podcast?
No, I never said that.
Where we're going to show me beat you, as that was inside ball 4. And then we're going to have a camera on you as well so that people can see the hurt face that you have. Will we also have a counter for how many times you break a controller and owe me $65? Because you're up to 2 right now. Joe Panik comes to the plate.
Wait, no. One of them was Nikki's fault.
No, don't blame your little brother.
He broke the remote because he got mad
nobody's buying
at
it.
Rocket League.
1-0 the count.
Okay?
1-0 the
That's
count.
not
for
my
Panik.
fault.
That is your fault.
No, it's not.
You are your brother's keeper. Runner on first. Keuchel's put on a runner in all 3 innings to lead off that inning. Now Panik's going to put this one down the third base line, foul over the tarp. 1-1 to count. On a pretty day at the ballpark. So, this will be an interesting podcast, and we can even do slow motion replays of when you throw the controller in anger. Change up at the knees is a strike, 1-2. The best part was when I found the last one that was broken. We're sitting down here doing a simulated game, and Dallas Keuchel's dancing on the mound uncontrollably because one of the little things that swivels the player is just swiveling him back and forth the entire game. Yeah, real funny. Low outside slider, 2-2 to count.
It's pretty funny.
It was funny when I asked for $65 and you had to pay for it. That was funny for me.
It was only 60.
Whatever. The count is even. I charge tax. 2-seam fastball misses low. Count is full now with a runner on first already, and Keuchel continues to struggle here in this game, up to 53 pitches. No outs in the top of the third, and Panik fouls off a 2-seam fastball, and we will redo it. The payoff pitch on the way from Keuchel. Swung on and chopped to short. Going to be a tough double play. Anderson over to second. Madrigal overthrows it into the dugout. Madrigal, that's his first error of the season. Throws this ball and airmails it well over Encarnacion into the Blue Jays dugout. I think he hit somebody in the skull. It's a bad scene in there. The runner advances to second because it goes out of play. And now you got a runner on second with 1 out. And Bo Bichette comes to the plate 0 for 1 in this game. Bichette takes a cut fastball in the outside corner, 0-1. So if Bichette made it to first base, but he's 0-1. How did that happen, Dominic? Let's test your baseball acumen as he takes an inside fastball, 0-2 the count. There was a ground ball.
Okay.
The runner was out at second, but Bichette was safe at first. Why is he 0 for 1? Ball grounded back to Keuchel, flipped over to first. The 1-3 put out. There's 2 gone here in the top of the third.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, it's a fielder's choice. So what happened was he created an out.
Yeah.
Even though he's safe, he's only safe because the easier out to take was the lead runner.
Okay.
So he doesn't get credit for it, and his batting average goes down even though he made it to first base because it's not considered a hit.
Oh, okay.
You get that?
Uh-huh.
All right, Vlad Guerrero Jr. stands in, takes an inside fastball, 0-1 the count with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Keuchel now gets him the foul off a 2-seamer, quickly 0-2. Family Waterproofing Solutions, family-owned, female-owned, veteran-owned. A portion of the proceeds go to veteran and first responder organizations. They have Sox in the Basement deals. Details coming up at the end of this half inning. Get your pen and paper ready. Keuchel with the 1-2 pitch. Brushes him back. Ball gets away. Runner down to third to throw. He is safe under the tag. It'll be scored as a wild pitch by Keuchel. Although that's not a wild pitch. See, this is the problem. This is one of the errors that we get in these games. That ball was in Grandal's glove. And then he dropped it. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's a passed ball.
Oh, okay.
That's the catcher's fault. Ground ball to short. Anderson's going to backhand to take his time over to first. The 6-3 putout ends the inning. Nobody scores. And we are midway through the third with no score here on the south side. Leury Garcia will lead it off for us next. Foundation issues not properly handled can be costly. Family Waterproofing Solutions is owned by Ken, a veteran of the United States Marines, and his wife Maria, making them a veteran-owned business and a female-owned business that will diagnose and repair wet or leaky basements. And while they're located on the Sox side, Family Waterproofing services the entire Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. And now, after taking time off to ensure they can do things safely and securely for you, Family Waterproofing is back in business and doing jobs. Plus, part of the proceeds for every job that they do are donated to veteran and first responder organizations who support our frontline defenders. And currently, Sox in the Basement listeners have access to special pricing when they contact Family Waterproofing Solutions now, 708-330-4466, or visit them today at FamilyBasementWaterproofing.com. Let's take a look at the White Sox 2020 hitting stats so far. Third in OBP slugging and home runs in the American League, second in runs per game, with an average of 5.83 runs, and fourth in team batting average, hitting .277. And that's pretty much their rank in MLB as well as AL teams. The top 3 AL teams are leading in all those categories. Leury Garcia with a hot shot on the first pitch to short. Bichette's going to send it over. A quick 6-3 putout. And there's one away on one pitch here in the bottom of the third, and we continue to help Ryan Borucki go deep into this game. That was only his 24th pitch, and he already has one out here in the bottom of the third. Tim Anderson in the top of the order up for the White Sox now, and an outside sinker misses. 1-0 the count. The Twins have now put up a run in the 6th inning and trail Cleveland 6-1 midway through the 6th. Count is now 1-1 as that one catches the inside corner. Next pitch low and inside at the knees, 2-1 the count. Anderson now sends this one out down the third base line. Fair ball. It hits the line and goes into the stands. What is that called, Dominic?
Ground rule double.
Ground rule double. If the ball leaves play, but it bounced first, it is a ground rule double. You can't go any further. That ball hits inside the line in left field and goes into the stands. So Anderson stands at second. Grandal fouls this one off down the first base line, 0-1 with one out in the bottom of the third. Anderson with a big lead at second. Borucki checks him and now gets one by a swinging Grandal, a low changeup, 0-2 the count. The pitch. Misses outside a sinker. 1-2. One out. Bottom of the third. This one is rocketed over to third base. Nice play by Guerrero Jr. He holds Anderson at third. Throws out Grandal. 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and here comes Jose Abreu with a single in the first. He has been on a tear as of late. After slumping earlier this week. 3 for 4. Player of the game yesterday with a home run. Already 1 for 1 in this game. He's 0-1 though on an inside pitch. Next one, a curveball, misses low and inside, 1-1. Abreu skies this one in the shallow left center field. When it comes down, the inning will be over, and it is. Flies out to the center fielder. Sox threaten a little bit, but not enough. After 3, there's still no score here at the rate. Here at the rate. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first inning. He's hitting .292, and the righty stands in, waiting for Dallas Keuchel, who has 63 pitches and is only through 3 innings. Rondell sets up on the outside corner. A two-seamer's fouled off down the first base line. 0-1 the count. Keuchel quickly in the wind again in the pitch. Swung on and missed the changeup, 0-2. So have you been picking up the terminology while you listen to this?
Yes.
Any weird questions, anything that you don't understand, anything that I've said recently or today that you're like, what the heck does that mean?
No.
It's okay. Well, you've asked me about other things and I've given you the answer. Like you
Yeah.
asked today a question about the standings, right? Like what was 500 in the standings?
yeah.
That was something that you asked. 1-2 to count now as that pitch misses. The next one from Keuchel. Gets him looking on a two-seamer. Another strikeout for Dallas. He's got the first out of the inning for the first time today. He doesn't let the leadoff guy on. 1 out here in the top of the fourth. And it's weird, too. Baseball, instead of saying you're 50% or your win percentage is 63%, they use all 3 numbers in the decimal system. You know how percentages work, right? Have you learned that yet?
Yes, I have.
All right, so 63% is also .630, right?
Yep.
So if you have a 630 winning percentage, you win 63% of the time.
Oh, okay.
There's a weird way that they put things. Pitch outside to Teoscar Hernandez, 1-0 the count. The next one from Keuchel. Misses outside a cut fastball, 2-0. Into the wind and the pitch. Gets the inside corner. 2-1 the count. Looks like it would be a great day for a ball game looking at this, right?
Yeah.
Do you miss baseball?
Yes, I do.
You miss going to the games?
Yeah.
What's the best part about going to Guaranteed Rate Field? Is the count is now 2-2.
To watch baseball.
So you like it? It's better than the food.
Yeah, I like watching it.
You
Like in
watching
person.
it. Yeah?
It's better than.
Better than TV,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I get that. You're a very visual generation. 3-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off a two-seamer. Will reset. 1 out, top of the fourth, full count. Keuchel delivers and misses low and inside on a four-seamer. Doesn't get the call. Hernandez is down to first. Another free pass from Dallas Keuchel. And Randall Grichuk is 1 for 1 with a single in the second inning. And will come to the plate hitting .321 with a runner on first. Keuchel checks the runner at first. The pitch on the way misses outside a slider, 1-0 the count. White Sox have a day off tomorrow. And they didn't really spend up their bullpen during the doubleheader yesterday. So guys are pretty well rested. If Keuchel can't go deep, you could see a bullpen day in a very close game. Changeup fouled off, 1-1 the count. The runner on first has a lot of speed but doesn't steal very well. What do you think would be an explanation for that?
What
Just
do you
off
mean?
the top of your... Well, if you look at it,
Yeah.
he's rated as a very fast runner. We'll show it up there in the corner there. He's rated 80 out of 100 running, but only 19 out of 100 stealing. This one's chopped over to third base. Hard play for Moncada. All he can do is go to first. The 5-3 putout. Runner advances to second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. The top of the fourth. Top of the fourth. I don't know why I screwed that up. Anyway, So now Travis Shaw comes up. So why do you think that would be? In real life, a guy's fast, but he doesn't steal very well. Kind of analyze that as Shaw takes a high inside pitch for a ball, 1-0 the count.
Maybe he's like not as confident about stealing.
That could be it. Also, maybe he's not very good at not looking like he's going to steal or getting a good jump. It's that first step because you're trying to go at the moment the pitcher can't stop pitching. Once they begin their wind and they're going towards the plate, they can't stop and then throw over to first. That's a balk. Okay, everybody would get a base. So you have to time it perfectly so the pitcher has nothing but the option to go to home plate. So you get all that time when the ball's leaving his hand, all the way to where it gets to the catcher, and then the catcher getting up and throwing it to try to make it to second. 3-1 pitch fouled off here by the lefty Shaw. The count is full. Runner Hernandez on second base with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Keuchel checks the runner. The pitch fouls off into the crowd down the third base line. 3-2 the count. 84 pitches so far for Keuchel. This one's lifted into right field. It's going to be a base hit. Mazara's going to come in, throw it in quickly to prevent the runner from trying to score.
Why did he dive, like, while he was throwing?
He was putting all he could into it, so he kind of threw it as hard as he could to home plate. So it shows that he put his whole body into it and lost his balance.
Oh, okay.
Throwing it in the home. And it was a good throw, would have gotten the runner, but the runner did not test his arm. Low inside changeup for a ball, 1-0 now. Keichel's pitching to Jansen, the righty, the catcher. 23 pitches in this inning alone, 86 on the game. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. He has struggled today. Now he gets the outside corner on a cut fastball, 1-1 the count. Jansen had a rough start the last time out. He went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He's 0 for 1 today. Sends this one down the first base line. Fair ball. It got underneath Encarnacion's glove. It's going to roll to the wall under a 335 sign and right. Mazara gets it in quickly. Only 1 run will score. Jansen has a double, his 4th of the season, an RBI, as that skips underneath Encarnacion's glove. And now second and third with 2 outs and a runner in. And all this happened with 2 outs.
I think it's because Keuchel is getting tired because he's on his, 89th pitch.
89th pitch now, right?
Yeah.
Derek Fisher comes up. He walked in the third. He's a number 9 hitter. But my thing is this. He gets paid a lot of money to be out there.
Yeah.
He's got to figure out how to get through these things. You know, he's a starting pitcher. I expect the starter to go 6.
Yeah.
5 if he has a bad game. He's going to be lucky to even start the 5th inning right now. Up to 90 pitches, that one's fouled off. 0-2 to count out of Fisher. Misses outside and high on a cut fastball, 1-2. No motion in the White Sox bullpen right now as they're expecting Keuchel to get out of this. Inside pitch misses, now 2-2. Fans are getting restless in the background. The 2-2 pitch misses inside, 3-2. So he had 2 strikes and can't find the plate now.
Yeah.
I know, it's frustrating. Baseball can be frustrating like that. And you're sitting there saying, man, just throw it across the plate. Maybe he's trying to, or maybe he thinks he can be cute and just hit the inside or outside corner. Now the count is full. Swung on and set out to right field. Mazara heading back deep towards the track. He will catch this one over his shoulder near the warning track. The White Sox dodge a bullet, but do give up a run midway through the fourth. They trail Toronto 1-0. Yoan Moncada will lead us off, 0 for 1 with a flyout in the first inning. Meanwhile, the White Sox bullpen has Michael Kopech and Evan Marshall warming up. And a slider misses low and inside, 1-0 the count. Kopech just returned to the team and pitched 3 stellar relief innings behind Gio Gonzalez a few days ago. On Thursday, the 1-0 pitch to Moncada swung on and missed an outside sinker. He went after it, 1-1. And Evan Marshall's been pretty solid as well. Dallas is almost to 100 pitches and hasn't looked sharp. Ricky Renteria may go with his new long reliever, And Michael Kopech. Outside sinker misses. The count is now even at 2. Into the 7th inning, Cleveland has scored a run. They lead 3-1 against Minnesota, trying to salvage a game in their series as the Twins jumped all over them and are going for the sweep. Moncada lifts this one out of the left field, tailing back towards the wall. To the track, he looks up.
And it's gone!
Gone! Into the bullpen. Yoan Moncada takes it out 357 feet at 97.1 miles per hour on the exit velocity, a solo shot. He has 3 home runs in the last 2 days and is really starting to heat up with the power angle of his batting. Hit that one from the right side and puts it out to the White Sox bullpen.
I always wonder if the catchers get nervous out there, they're going to get hit by a ball.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure they have spotters. There's Eloy Jimenez.
It's like the crowd just starts screaming, and then they're like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Think the left fielder gets out there and goes, heads up, guys.
It's coming. 0-1 the count. As that one's fouled off down the first base line by Jimenez. Now he takes an outside changeup for a strike, 0-2. Jimenez is hitting .308. That's 12 for 39 in his last 10 games. Sends this one up the middle, off the forearm of Borucki. It dies in the infield grass. Nobody's going to have a throw. They're going to have to come out and check on the pitcher. 10-game hitting streak for Jimenez as he just puts it right off the pitcher. That's smart. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't his arm, really. It hit him
Right in the leg.
I thought it was in his ribs. I thought it was above the buttocks. That's what I thought. You think buttocks is funny? Is that why you're giggling? All right. Anyway, he's on with an infield hit, and then when Encarnacion comes up to the plate, takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. There's no outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dallas Keuchel is already up into the 90s with his pitch count. But have no fear, Michael Kopech is here. And you can easily see him coming in, pitching an inning or two, and getting you to that bullpen if the White Sox can get the lead in this game. 0-2 pitch to Encarnacion, misses on the outside corner, 1-2 the count. Edwin's got some cool shades on, right?
Yeah.
He's got like white rims, the reflective glass. Looks good up there.
He's like the only guy that wears glasses. Why does he do that?
Well, there's other guys wearing shades. I see him, but he's the only guy that always stands out to me that he's wearing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2-2 to count. The pitch. In the dirt. Jimenez will hold at first. Count is full. Mazara on deck. Runner on first. No outs, bottom of the 4th. The payoff pitch. Swung on and sent into the camera well down the first base line. We will reset. Borucki up to 50 pitches. Deals. Sent deep down the third base line, hooking foul. 3-2 to count remains. Encarnacion is battling. And he fouls this one back to the backstop.
How many fouls is he gonna get?
If he's 3-2 and he's fouled off 3 since then, he's up to at least 8 pitches. That's his 9th that he's seen, at minimum. He fouls that one into the catcher. A long at bat, this will be at least the 10th pitch coming to Edwin Encarnacion. Swung on and fouled off down the first base line.
How many fouls is he gonna get?
That's 10 pitches. They just confirmed it on the screen. This is pitch number 11 from Borucki in this at bat. Swung on and fouled off. This is a battle. Now, this would actually wear out a pitcher because the pitcher now is like, what do I throw? Like, what do I do here to get this guy? Another one fouled off. Encarnacion continues to fight. 12 pitches is at bat. My kid's going to pee himself. It's so ridiculous. The pitch.
And another one.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if this was a glitch and he fouled off like 100 pitches?
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. You could just listen to us laugh at it. The pitch. Now he sends it over to short. All that for a double play. 6-4-3. Rack him up. Edwin loses the battle and the war there. Jimenez also heads back. Nomar Mazara, the right fielder today, comes in 0 for 1. with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th inning in a tie ball game. He's hitting .220 with 5 home runs and 16 RBIs. There was a point in the season where he was hitting as low as 160 towards the end of April. Fouls off the first pitch, 0-1 the count. Borucki in the wind. The lefty Mazzaro swings and misses over the top of a changeup, low and out of the zone, 0-2. Takes the same pitch for a ball, 1-2 the count. Into the wind is Borucki. Misses low again on a sinker. He's trying to get him to chase down there again. Mazzaro holding off for now. The count is even at 2. Here it comes. Misses outside on a slider. The count is full. So after swinging at some bad pitches, Nomar Mazara just held firm, fought his way back to a full count. Here with 2 outs, Nick Madrigal stands on deck. And here it comes. Swung on and rifled out in the right field, tailing back. It will be caught near the track. He flies out to right field. The inning is over, but the White Sox have tied it up. And after 4, we're all knotted up at 1 on a Sunday afternoon. All right, kid. I'm gonna let you make a decision in this game.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're kicking off the top of the 5th inning. Get up on the microphone there.
Okay.
Do you want Evan Marshall, who is currently 3-0 with a 2.53 earned run average, and hitters are hitting below 229 against him this season? Or do you want the youngster Michael Kopech, who's 1-0 in only 3 innings pitched so far here in the major league since he got back from surgery, to come in? He's got basically no ERA. He didn't give up any runs over those 3 innings. And lefties have yet to get a hit against him. Righties hitting 143. Who do you want to come in the game here? You've got 3 seconds.
I'll do Michael Kopech.
Michael Kopech's coming in. Good choice. I like that one. All right. Michael Kopech comes into the game. You heard the decision right there. He had 6 strikeouts and a walk over 3 innings pitched in his first attempt to come back. And it was a good attempt. He got the win the other night on Thursday after Gio Gonzalez went 4 innings. Kopech came in. Sox come back in the game and end up winning. But he gives up a base hit immediately in the right field, and immediately all of White Sox Nation is asking why a 12-year-old was making the decisions.
I'm the new manager, guys.
Yeah, that's it, man. I would have picked him too. That's who I wanted to have come in. Kopech into right field with the base hit. Give it up to the leadoff hitter. Now here comes Bo Bichette, who's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Joe Panik is having the greatest game of his season. Came in hitting under 200. He's reached base all 3 times. The man is on fire as Bichette takes a ball. 1-0 the count here in the 5th inning. Kopech with the sign from Grandal goes inside and brushes him off. 2-0 the count. Bichette has 7 home runs on the season. It's 3rd on his team. Meanwhile, the White Sox have 2 guys with 13 home runs and 2 of them with 11. 2-1 the count. Kopech looks in, checks the runner at first. Now the pitch. Fouled off. Count is even at 2. Your Unky Dave was asking the question yesterday, will the simulation have batters adjust to Michael Kopech? This one is given a ride out in the left center field. On his horse is Garcia. He makes the catch in the gap. I thought that was falling in. That was a heck of a play. Leury Garcia, the only guy that was going to get to it. Jimenez was not. Outstretched on the run, he makes that catch.
Hey, what did you say?
That would have been a double. There's 1 out here in the top of the 5th and a runner still on first for Vlad Jr. Well, he's asking whether or not, pitchers come in and they have something that batters haven't seen in a while.
Okay.
But what happens now after they have some film on him, they sit down and they watch, this is what he likes to do, and they adjust to him. Will he adjust back? Will you see him have this up and down thing as he is really having his 2nd rookie season? He only got to play for about 6 weeks before he got injured in 2018. Missed all of 2019. He's basically restarting. Swung on and missed. The count is 0-2.
Yeah, I would say that's probably going to happen. He'll probably have to change it up if they keep getting hits off of him.
Yeah. Are you going to have long flowing hair like Michael Kopech? The chicks dig it. He dated Instagram models and
and reality show girls, and he married some really pretty girl. I mean, I think it might also be the fact that he's going to make millions upon millions of dollars, or it could be love. But it could also be the hair. It could also be the hair.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll grow my hair out.
Hair out like that. You're more of a hockey player. That's more of a baseball long haircut. 1 and 2 the count. Short in the front and a party in the back.
If I had hair
Guerrero swings and misses at that one, and Kopech sits him down for a strikeout. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
If I had hair like that, I'd probably get yanked down on the ice.
Oh, that would happen.
Yeah.
That would happen. Gets a little vicious out there, even when you're 12 years old. I've seen it.
When the kid was trying to skate me.
Yeah. You had a kid try to stab you with a skate. You were on the ice for an incredible fight that ended with a 12-year-old flipping off the crowd.
Oh, yeah. No, and his coach.
And his coach. He flipped off his coach and then flipped off the crowd with the double birds.
And then walked
At
into
12
the
years
locker
old.
room and threw his...
Threw all his stuff. Yeah, it was an interesting day that day. 0-1 the count to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Kopech throws one low and inside a slider. 1-1 the count. Gurriel Jr. is on a 9-game hit streak. We just saw Eloy Jimenez, who entered this game on a 9-game hit streak of his own, get his 10th hit. Gurriel's 0 for 2, and he lifts this one in the right field. Mazzara comes in, can of corn, and he's out. 3 outs here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Madrigal, Garcia, Anderson, all tied up at 1. New challenges bring new technology. DP3 Tech has partnered with Microsoft to make things easier on you and your business. Imagine being able to get everybody together in a nice, easy, user experience friendly meeting room and being able to share whatever you want in the room with just one click. You can migrate from old legacy on-premises equipment right now to flexible, secure, work-from-home friendly cloud services. Bring your group together faster, better, easier. Find out what DP3 Tech can do for you. Contact their cloud migrations team today, 312-896-2450, or email info@dp3tech.com. You just heard from DP3 Tech. Let me tell you a little bit more about them. If you missed it in the commercial, DP3 Tech, they sat down and they were already doing technology, security for businesses. That's what they specialized in. Then they saw all this stuff going on, and they came over the program partnering up with Microsoft to make it easier for you to have your entire company work from home or mobily or whatever your setup is. And it works with your systems in your company. Free estimate, they'll talk to you about everything. Be the shining star in the office that brings us to the boss. Or be the boss that makes everybody's life a little bit easier with one touch. You get to show something. One touch, somebody's on the screen. Clear signal. Check them out. If you missed the information, go back. There's a little skip back button on your podcast. And contact DP3 Tech. 3-0 count to Nick Madrigal. My young co-host today has a question. We'll get to that in a moment. As Mads takes an inside changeup 3-1 right after he's done with his at-bat. He asked me a question. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer it fully, so we might have to go to the internet. But hold on. Let's see. Let's do the at bat first, because people want to know what Nick Madrigal's going to do. The young man is short as Frodo Baggins. Sends this one down the first base. Ground out. That's a 3 unassisted. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Larry Garcia comes up with a ground out in the 3rd. He's 1 for 8 in this series with an RBI. And now, what is the question you asked me?
You said can of corn. Why is it called a can of corn when it's like a pop fly?
Now, this is going to be a tough one. I said can of corn because my entire life I was taught that's what that was called. A nice, easy fly ball that's just sitting there, coming down to the batter as this one's flied out to left. Now, that's not a can of corn because he was on the move.
Yeah.
He was on the move. Can of corn is the guy's underneath it waiting for it. Now, I don't know why he came up with it, but Hawk Harrelson was the announcer of my lifetime for the White Sox. Basically, he took over announcing for all my formative years and into my adult years, as that was a can of corn right there to right field. 1 pitch from Anderson, and it's caught by Grichuk, the right fielder. 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays. After 5, we're all tied up at 1. We'll get back to this in a moment. Teoscar Hernandez comes in 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. My young co-host Dominic Lanuti, my son, is asking where the can of corn phrase came from. as the first pitch is a strike inside from Kopech, 0-1 the count. Next one misses inside, count is even at 1. Top of the 6th inning, Kopech on for his second inning of work after Dallas Keuchel struggled with his pitch count and left after 4. The game is tied at 1 as the White Sox go for the sweep. This one's sent down the third base line, hooking foul into the stands. So, Hawk Harrelson was the announcer for basically all my formative years as a White Sox fan. And when I was a little kid, there were other guys doing it, but he was the main guy.
Okay.
All right, and he came up with some of the most ridiculous phrases ever. And it can, according to me, as this is a base hit in the center field, so the leadoff man on against Kopech here in the top of the 6th inning for the Blue Jays. The meaning for me was the guy's always waiting there for the ball by the time it gets there. It's a nice, easy fly that he's waiting for.
Okay.
And that's what he used to do. So I looked it up for you in the half inning, in the midway part, as Randall Grichuk, who had the last can of corn that I called, comes up and takes an outside slider, 1-0. And this is the actual meaning of it. A high, easy-to-catch fly ball hit to the outfield. See, that's what I said. The phrase is said to have originated in the 19th century and relates to old-time grocers' methods of getting canned goods down from a high shelf. It's supposed to be something that is not challenging. The idea is they would put a little stick up there on the top shelf, they pull it, and then it would fall into the person's hands who's waiting for it. An easy catch coming off the shelf. That's a can of corn. You get it now?
Yeah, I get it.
There we go. We learned some baseball terminology. 1-2 the count now to Grichuk. The right-handed hitter stands in as Kopech delivers a low and away four-seamer. He does not chase. 2-2. There's a runner on first and no outs. Kopech has been solid through his first 4 innings back. 3 of them on Thursday and then the last inning here. Now he's got a base runner on. Let's see what he does. Swung on and fouled off. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Took something off it with a changeup. The off-speed pitch. He swung out way in front of it. Another strikeout for Kopech, and there's one gone. This one's ripped into left center field into the gap, and nobody's going to get to it. It goes off the wall. We're going to have a runner coming around and scoring here. That is a double immediately on the first pitch from Kopech. Travis Shaw came up and didn't even give me a chance to announce him before he hits a double in the left center field gap. He was all over that pitch from Michael Kopech. It is 2-1 Blue Jays. And now Shaw stands on second with 1 out. And Danny Jansen to the plate.
This is why you don't tell a 12-year-old to pick between 2 pitchers.
Oh, Michael Kopech's a good pitcher. He's not perfect. He's not Jesus out there, you know?
But he could be.
Well, with that hair. That ball's in the dirt. Runner's not going to advance as Grandal corrals it. 1-1 the count quickly to Jansen. He's hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position. Blue Jays got a run in the 4th. Sox came back and got a run in the bottom of the 5th. Now in the top of the 6th, they have one across. It's 2-1. 1-2 now to Jansen, the pitch. High and outside slider, 2-2. This is something Michael Kopech's going to have to go through as he works his way back into the major league team. Ground ball to Madrigal, thrown over to first quickly. The 4-3 put out. There's 2 outs. Runner advances a third. And now here comes Derek Fisher, the 9-hitter, who's 0 for 1 with a walk in the 3rd inning. If Kopech retires him, he'll have seen every Blue Jays batter 1 time and finished the lineup in 2 innings. An inside 4-seamer misses 1-0 the count. Now a 4-seamer down the middle. 1-1. Swung on and missed a 4-seamer. That was heat. At 98 miles an hour from Kopech. 1-2 the count. He can bring it. He's one of those guys that can top 100. Swung on and missed on a changeup at 86 miles an hour. He strikes him out. After Kopech gives up the double that scores the run, he bears down and gets out of the inning. Nobody else crosses midway through the 6th. We trail 2-1. Yasmani Grandal's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. 5 for 8 in the series. He has a home run in this series and 4 RBI. And multiple walks. Barucki on pitch number 72. This is 73. down the middle for a strike. He has been very efficient today for the Blue Jays, which they needed after they struggled in that doubleheader yesterday, and their bullpen is in far worse shape than the White Sox bullpen is today. This pitch swung on and sent into center field. Little duck snort. That's a base hit, 0-1 the count.
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
A duck snort?
A duck snort?
Yeah.
Another Hawk Harrelson thing. That's an 11-game hitting streak for Yasmani Grandal.
Wow.
We have two guys on hit streaks in the double digits. Jimenez is on a 10-game hit streak. Grandal's on an 11-game hit streak. As Jose Abreu comes up, 1 for 2 with a single in the first inning, and a runner that isn't very fast in Grandal on first. So, duck snort's another Hawkism. It's like a lightly hit ball into the outfield. I'll look it up for you and get you the exact definition here in a moment.
Okay.
As the White Sox try to answer back in this game. First pitch, over the head at second base, and a base hit rolling out in the center. Everybody's going to advance 90 feet. First and second with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, with Yoan Moncada coming to the plate. I believe him to be the superstar of this team. He is young. He is only going to get better.
Yeah.
A former #1 overall prospect who has paid his dues. It wasn't easy, made the adjustments, swings and misses at a changeup on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. He gets walks, he hits for power, he hits doubles and triples along with home runs, he has speed, he plays defense. This one is sent out in the right field, base hit! Grandal is not fast enough to come around. He's only going to make it to third as that gets over the first baseman's head in the right. Throw comes in quickly, the bases are loaded, and they're going to the bullpen. That's it. So Borucki's going to leave with the lead here, but it's a perilous situation for him with the bases loaded and no outs, my friend. And while we're waiting on that here, I found the duck snort thing for you. A softly hit ball that goes over the infielder and lands in the outfield for a hit. It's a weak hit, originally called by baseball players a duck fart. Wilmer Font comes into the game, 16 games pitched, 14 innings, 2.57 earned run average, 16 strikeouts to 9 walks. Opponents are hitting .223 against him. So Hawk Harrelson changed it to duck snort because duck fart. He didn't want to upset people with kids.
Why would that upset?
Back in the day, people didn't say the naughty language you hear all the time. We protected our kids. Now we just say anything in front of them.
Wait, so fart was a bad word back
Well,
then?
you just didn't want to say it on TV.
Oh, okay.
Somebody might get upset. Eloy Jimenez is 1 for 2. He steps in with the bases loaded and no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch from the righty is a ball high. That was a borderline call. Could have gone for a strike. Jimenez is hitting .341 with runners in scoring position. How many runners are in scoring position right now, Dominic?
1?
2. Second base is scoring position. On a base hit, most people can score from second. Unless you're slow, like Yasmani Grandal on that last base hit, and he could only make it to third. He's a heck of a hitter and a really good pitch framer. Anthony Bass is one of the 2 pitchers warming up out in the outfield for the Blue Jays. We'll get the other one for you in a second. It swung on and missed. Is this inside 4-seamer, 1-2 now to Jimenez. As Font tries to get out of this inning.
But there is no outs.
Well, I know, but he came in with the bases loaded. Let's see what happens. Misses outside on a curveball trying to get Jimenez to chase. Moncada's on first. Abreu is on second. Grandal is on third. Jimenez is at the plate. A big moment here for the White Sox. Here on the top of the 6th. Misses outside, low and away, a 4-seamer. The count is full. At 3-2 as Edwin Encarnacion stands on deck.
It'd be funny if he walks him.
Swung on and belted deep into center field. This will not make it out. It'll be caught at the track. The runner is going to tag in Grandal and head to home. Abreu advanced to third. Moncada held at second as the relay throw came in near second base. This game is all tied up with 1 out now in the bottom of the 6th on the sacrifice fly. So, does a sacrifice fly affect his batting average? No.
No, it doesn't?
No, it doesn't. If the out created a run, it doesn't even count as an at-bat.
Oh.
Yep, counts as a sack for just like walks don't count as an at bat.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get an at bat if you have a walk, and you don't get an at bat if you create a run with the sacrifice out. 0-1 now to Encarnacion, and he quickly fouls off one down the third base line. He's 0-2 in the hole. Font looks to get out of this with minimal damage. Swung on and missed. 3 pitches. He goes for a low outside splitter, a bad pitch to swing at. And it looks like if I would have gotten up there in that situation. You know? That was terrible. Now you got 2 outs, and Nomar Mazara is going to come to the plate. 0 for 2 with a fly out and a line out. First pitch is outside for a curveball, 1-0. Moncada at first on the move. Swung on and sent into right field. Will it get down? No!
That was close.
That was a close play. Second base ran out and grabbed it. As second base and right field were converging. Moncada was on the move, but nothing happens. After 6, tied up at 2. Steve Cishek will come into the game. 19 games, 24 2/3 innings. A 1-0 record with 7 holds. No runs charged to him yet this year. 28 strikeouts to 10 walks. Righties hitting 160 against him. Lefties hitting 107. He's a side armor. Watch this. Look how he throws the ball.
So weird.
He throws off batters. He also likes to keep the ball down, which will induce a lot of ground balls. And the reason you'll induce the ground balls is the person will hit the top of the ball because it's so hard to get down and meet that ball even or underneath it. Throws a low sinker, 2-0. Generally, the first batter that he faces, he goes full in the count and sometimes walks them as he tries to find the strike zone. Then he's deadly afterwards. As Joe Panik stands up there, he's having a pretty good day today. An outside slider misses 3-0, so we'll see if he has the green light or if he'll be taking with a 3-0 pitch and Bo Bichette on deck. The lefty awaits the pitch from the righty, Cishek. Strike on the inside corner, a 4-seam fastball. 3-1 the count. Came up to waist level on that one. He likes to work below the waist. And he delivers. That one's a nubber down the third baseline foul.
Is it harder because since he's throwing it lower, the batter thinks it's going to be lower than it actually is?
The delivery throws him off. That's a slider swung on and missed. Low in the zone. 79 miles per hour. Cishek gets a strikeout. 1 gone. The delivery's different. Like they're used to looking for the ball in a certain area as it's coming towards them. He starts off on the side. Think about how difficult it is for a right-handed batter as he's going to be throwing it behind their butt here, and it comes back in. That guy can't see that pitch. An inside slider right on the corner.
No.
He doesn't see that pitch until that pitch is across the plate. That pitch is. He's got to look at that out of the corner of his eye because the ball is starting off behind him or even with him and then working its way in. So it's very hard to judge as Bo Bichette's in here 0-1 and now puts one down the third baseline foul. 0-2 the count. With the way he sets up so close to the plate, I go low and inside on him because he's really not going to be able to get it. He did there, but he missed. So that's a low inside sinker. He just missed. But Bichette, he didn't even move the bat. And that, and that's the whole idea. Now he goes low and inside again with a sinker. This is what I always talk about with people. Like I watch these games. They are so accurate because it makes sense what's being thrown to the batter. Swung on and missed a slider. He goes a little bit more down the middle, but low. Bichette swings at something he can't reach. Cishek has struck out 2. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 7th inning. Close game today as Vlad Guerrero Jr. comes in. Vlad, much better against righties than he is lefties. So he's happy to see Cishek, but he's probably like, I don't like the way this guy throws the ball. He's 0 for 2 with a walk in the first inning. He's hitting .297 on the season. But he's only slugging .394, which means not a lot of extra base hits, not a lot of home runs. He only had his 3rd yesterday for the season. The inside slider misses on the corner, 2-0 the count.
How many games in are we again?
Let's see here. The White Sox, I want to say,
They're
are
like
29
29.
and I want to say they're 29 and 17 coming into this game. I don't have it in front of me. So add 29 and 17, use your math, and you tell me.
46.
Yeah, there you go, 46. 3-0 count with 2 outs here at the top of the 7th to Vlad Jr. The pitch on the way. Inside misses for a slider, and he walked him on 4, and I'm going to tell you right now, his father would have swung at 2 of those. Vladimir Guerrero played for the Montreal Expos for most of his career, and he swung at everything. But the amazing thing was, he would hit home runs. He actually hit a home run one time, and the ball bounced before it got to the plate. And he hit it out of the ballpark. I'm not even joking. Look it up on YouTube. It's amazing.
How do you do that?
It was amazing. He was one of those guys that he knew where the ball was going to go, and he judges it like he would hit him inside, outside, upside, downside, whatever. He just hit everything. And he was a great player. And this is his son, who's a little bit more disciplined at the plate. But I don't know if his son will ever be as good as his dad. 0-2 the count here to Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who fouls this one off. He has fouled off all 3 pitches that he's seen. The righty being worked inside by Cishek. The pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. He went right over his bat. You see that?
Yep.
Inside and low, inside and low, inside and low. Then he goes high and out of the zone, and he wasn't expecting it. We're going to sing the song here midway through the 7th, and maybe the White Sox will take the lead. Standing up at the plate is Nick Madrigal. He's 0 for 2. Plays a very good defense, although he had his first error of the season today. Takes a low inside 4-seam fastball from Font, who remains in the game. 0-1 the count. And into the wind he goes in the pitch. Swung on and popped up to first base. And that's not exactly a can of corn because he was moving, but an easy fly out, and Larry Garcia comes up 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. He's having a rough series. Made a nice play, though, in center field that probably saved a run today. Are you singing into the microphone? Wow. That's color commentary there. Hey, the Cleveland Indians beat the Twins 3-1. If the White Sox win this game, we are all tied up at the top of the division. As that's a strike down the middle, 1-1 the count. After this game, the White Sox have a day off on Monday. 2 games at home against the Colorado Rockies. And then they go on the road to Minnesota to face the Twins. And then they head to Baltimore. The next weekend after that, we have the Twins here. So it is going to be a very interesting end of May, beginning of June between the 2 first-place teams, presumably, or very close to, the first and second place teams here in the AL Central, as that's fouled back and caught by the catcher. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Anderson steps up. He swung at the first pitch last time and was out immediately. Not a very good at bat for him. He's 1-0. Font throws another one high. Anderson checks it up. 2-0 the count. Working quickly. Wilmer Font throws a curveball that's sent out to short. Bichette's going to scoop and throw. It's picked out of the dirt on a nice play at first base by Shaw. And the White Sox go down 1-2-3. We've played 7 innings, and we're all knotted up at 2 here at the rate. Teoscar Hernandez will come in, and Steve Cishek will remain in for now. The righty is 1 for 2. Cishek throws his 20th pitch of the game, a slider low at the knees, 1-0 the count. 29,218 appeared at this game today to watch it. And they're looking for the White Sox 4-game sweep. Sox have a sweep this season, but not a 4-game one, as that swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. They swept the Royals here at home. The same week that they won 3 out of 4 against the Rangers, but lost on Sunday, going for a 4-game sweep. Slider misses low and away, 2-1 the count. Currently 12 games over 500. And a game out of first, but now a half game out of first at this moment, as the Twins have lost their game to the Indians. 3-1 to count to Hernandez. Swung on and fouled back. A slider low and away, 3-2. The count is full. Let's see what he throws here, Dominic.
He's
I'm
gonna
saying
throw
inside,
a
inside
pitch.
and high, inside and high. Went outside and high, and he got him swinging.
I I said he was going to throw a pick.
Well, you were accurate. You're a good color commentator. They don't call him the best color commentator in virtual MLB for nothing, folks. He's definitely the youngest. Another strikeout from Cishek, who gets a day off tomorrow, so he's facing more batters in a tie game here because you don't know how long this one's going to go as Krinchuk swings and misses at a sinker low and inside. 0-1 the count. Aaron Bummer's available out there. Alex Colome's out there. Evan Marshall's out there. Jace Fry hasn't been out very much to pitch this weekend. A lot of fresh arms available to the White Sox if this goes late. Swung on and fouled off, 0-2 the count. I'd like for you to see a walk-off in the ninth, my son.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Misses low on a slider, 1-2 the count. 2-2 ball game. Sox have already walked off in one game this series in the 10th inning on a Moncada home run. Swung on and missed. Cishek spins around and pumps his fist. He was animated there. He was pumped. Watch that, man. He skipped off the mound. It's only the second out of the inning. He was an excited guy there. Sox have 2 outs right away here in this inning, both on strikeouts. And Travis Shaw is 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and an RBI and stands in. Waiting for the pitch. Here it comes. Misses outside and away on a sinker. 1-0 the count. He's hitting .273 now in limited action with a .545 slugging percentage. We have not seen him all series, and he's tearing it up in the 7th spot today. The pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off, almost hit the third base coach. 1-1 the count. Next pitch swung on and fouled off, 1-2. Cishek gets him to foul this one back over the third base dugout and into the netting. Count is 1-2 as my young Padawan learner hums the songs in the ballpark. I don't know if that's getting picked up, but I'm hearing it. It's funny. Fouls off another one. The count remains 1-2. Cishek trying to get through his second inning of work. Fouled that off again, and we've got another fouler. Got another guy fouling things. We've seen that a lot today. It's been a long game because of all the foul balls, like watching the Red Sox and the Yankees play. Now he goes outside. He doesn't chase 2-2, and he does that pitch. It's a throwaway pitch. Pitchers will do that where they throw way outside. Like, is he so anxious he's going to go for it? And if not, I've got plenty of balls to give because it was a 1-2 count. Now he's going to come back inside, and it's fouled off down the third base line. 8 pitches this at bat for Shaw. 37 for Cishek, who's done yeoman's work. He stands in and delivers. Misses low and inside, 3-2 to count with Danny Jansen on deck. Steve Cishek digs in at the mound. He does not want to let Shaw off the hook, but he also knows he's been their most dangerous hitter today. The pitch. Hits the outside corner and strikes him out looking. Grandal flips the ball over his shoulder towards the mound, and Cishek comes up to a rousing applause. Nice couple innings by that young man. Midway through the 8th, all knotted up at 2 as Anthony Bass will now come in for the Blue Jays. 18 games, 20 innings, and a 1.80 ERA, 15 strikeouts to 10 walks. Opponents hitting .205 against him. And he gets Yasmani Grandal, one of the hottest hitters in baseball, who now gets a hit from the left side where he is more deadly after hitting righty for the entire day. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a run. Now the switch hitter moves over to the left side. And Bass with the delivery. Swung on and fouled off down the third base line. I think Anthony Bass is not what he should call himself. I think he should call himself Tony Bass.
Why?
Okay, well, Tony's short. Anthony, if you shorten it, is Tony. As this one's sent out into the right center field gap. He's into the shift. It's going to be caught by the second baseman who's playing shallow right. One gone here in the bottom of the 8th. And then you can pronounce Bass, B-A-S-S, as bass like a bass guitar.
Yeah.
You play guitar, you should know that. I think Tony Bass is a cooler name than Anthony Bass. Sounds like he's a fish.
It
And
does.
a dirty fish at that.
It does.
As Jose Abreu comes to the plate. Bass throws one low and inside for a strike that looked like it missed the zone. Tough call there on Abreu, who's 0-1 quickly. Probably should be 1-0. Tie game, 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Middle of the White Sox lineup coming up here. As Abreu checks it up on a slider, 1-1 the count. The next offering misses low and away on a slider, 2-1. You can see Aaron Bummer warming in the bullpen. Alex Colome is not up. Although I expect him to get up soon just in case the White Sox do score, and he's going for the save in the top of the ninth. The 2-1 pitch. Check swing. It did get across a slider inside, 2-2. Count is even with one out here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Tie ball game, 2-2 here on Family Sunday. Swung on and popped straight up in the air. Jansen removes the mask. He's underneath it, and there's two gone. Here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Yoan Moncada is 2 for 3 with a home run, a single, and the RBI from his home run. He's hitting .329. He's up to 9 homers on the season. Let's get number 10 right now. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back, a four-seamer to the backstop, 0-1 the count. You've seen this guy hit a home run before in a game, right? Didn't we go to that Astros game and he hit that big, he hit a walk-off homer in that game, right? Yeah. High four-seam fastball, 1-1. And I remember telling you, this guy's going to be a star. And that was back in 2018 when they weren't that good. I was like, this guy's going to be a star. He's going to figure it out. He did. 1-1 the count for Moncada. The pitch on the way. Swung on and driven back into center field. Tailing towards the wall, and is off the top of the wall at the 400 marker. Moncada standing at second with a double with 2 outs here. Like I said, the man can hit. That's his 13th double. He almost clears it to dead center. Didn't have enough as he puts that one off the wall. So the White Sox have the go-ahead run at second base, and Eloy Jimenez up 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. A big moment in this game as he swings at an inside pitch. Chopped in front of the plate. Going to be a tough play for Jansen. He will get him by a hair at first on a 2-3 putout. Oh, I see it groaning over there. That's baseball, man. That's baseball. We go to the top of the ninth, still knotted up at 2. Aaron Bummer comes into the game. 21 games, 23 innings. 1-1 record, 2 saves and 2 opportunities. 36 strikeouts to 6 walks. He has an ERA of 1.17. And he's incredible. And the first pitch is a strike at the knees. 0-1. In the ninth inning, scheduled to come up and hit Edwin Encarnacion, Nomar Mazara, and Leury Garcia. Check that. First Nick Madrigal, then Leury Garcia. Although the White Sox have their bench available, as the count is now 1-1 as that pitch misses. Sox have a lot of bullpen that's available and fresh. Although nobody likes extra inning games, especially your dad, because it means he has to do more work.
And I'm kind of tired.
Well, you got to hang in here now, buddy.
I know.
You either got to finish the game or go to bed. You want to go to bed? I'll send you to bed. Ready for sleep? This one's set out in the left field.
Not entirely.
Jimenez underneath it makes the play. There's one gone here in the top of the ninth inning. Trust me, I got to listen to your mother later. Like, we got to watch a movie, and you're down there doing that stupid ball game. What are you looking at over here?
I was looking to see what time it was.
Oh, it's 10:20 at night. That's what time it is. We started this game basically when the White Sox would have started this game, so it's a pretty accurate time. It's a late ball game here. It's been a long game. There's one out here in the top of the ninth inning. Derek Fisher's already got 2 strikes on him. The lefty stands in against a very effective lefty in Aaron Bummer. The pitch on the way, high and outside. Tried to see if he would chase it. 97 miles an hour. You think you can hit a 97 mile an hour fastball that you don't see until after it comes back from behind you? Because that's what this guy's trying to do. Look where he delivers. Look how far out his arm goes. He throws it from up high and whips that thing around. Like, that guy can't see that ball.
No.
Can't see it at all. 2-2 the count. Here in the top of the ninth. The pitch. Swung on and missed. A four-seamer. He had no chance. Looks back at Bummer. Bummer points at him and smiles. There's 2 gone. And Joe Panik's going to come up. He's playing a lot of second base. I kept thinking Biggio was going to be their everyday starter, but Panik is getting a lot of work. We've seen him far more. He's 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th inning. 0-1 in the count as that's a strike called. I think you're going to get a walk-off in the ninth, my son. I feel it in my bones. First, Aaron Bummer has to get out of this inning. 1-1 the count to Panik. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning, a tie ball game. Swung on and fouled off down the third base line, 1-2. If it goes extras, I'll let you go. If you don't want to see the ending. You don't want to see the ending?
I know.
Broken
I wanna see the
bat,
ending.
fouled off down the third base line. You want to see the ending?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't want it to go to extra innings.
What if it goes like 15 innings? Inside sinker, 2-2.
Well, in that case,
We might have to start a new policy where we just like quick sim.
yeah. After 13 innings, I think we should be done.
Yeah, we're just done no matter what. All right, we might do that. We'll see. 3-2 to count. The pitch on the way. Got him! Oh, a cut fastball down the middle freezes him. Bummer strikes out the side. He's filthy. Midway through the 9th, we're all tied up, and here we go. Let's walk it off in the bottom of the 9th, shall we? Edwin Encarnacion steps in with no outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and 0 for the long ball here as Bass remains in the game and will face him. The first pitch is low and inside. 1-0 the count. If he reaches base, I would expect a pinch runner. He is extremely slow. Unfortunately, he's also the first baseman today and not the DH, so you might see several substitutions if that happens. Swung on and missed a slider on the outside corner, 1-1 to count. Fans are up, there's a buzz, and they also want to get to the bars because they cut off alcohol sales a few innings ago. Inside fastball misses, 2-1 the count. The key, my young Padawan learner, is as you get older and turn 21, always order an extra beer to keep under your seat at the end of the 6th inning. Inside slider, because you keep it there. You have your beer you're drinking, and then when you run out, you can't buy beer. But then you still have an extra one.
Why can't you buy beer?
They cut it off.
At what time?
They cut it off, I want to say, midway through the 7th. Maybe it's at the beginning of the 7th. Base hit in the right field. It's been so long I can't even remember. I want to say, maybe it is the actual 7th. But it's right around there. Base hit by Encarnacion. They're going to bring a pinch runner out for him. That one goes in the right field. And the White Sox are not going to waste any time sending out the leader in stolen bases in all of Major League Baseball, Luis Robert, as Nomar Mazara comes to the plate with no outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. It's not a question on if Robert will steal, but when. Inside pitch catches the zone, 1-1 the count. Now he goes inside again, a ball, 2-1. 2-1 the count. Robert at first with the lead. There he goes. That one swung on and sent to second. It broke up the double play. The only play is over to first. Robert gets to second base. He's lucky he's going. That's a tailor-made double play. Instead, Nick Madrigal comes up 0 for 3 with a pop out in the 7th inning. The pitch. Robert's taking off for third. That's a strike to throw down. He is out at third base. Oh! Out at third base. A perfect throw down. That is the first time he's been caught stealing third all season as the White Sox try to press to get this in regulars. Now you got 2 outs and Madrigal to the plate and the slider is high. 1-1 to count. Unfortunate there is now a slider low and inside is taken 1-2. The pitch. Swung on and fouled off down the first base line. Count remains 1-2. Madrigal now swings and misses the next one. Drop third, strike down to first. We're going to see extra innings. I'm sorry. I tried my best to force the issue, young man, but we're going to the top of the 10th inning, tied up at 2 here on the south side. Alex Colome is going to come into the game. 15 games, 13 and a third innings, 6 saves and 8 opportunities. This is not a save opportunity. James McCann will get back behind the plate, and Yasmani Grandal goes down to play first base after Encarnacion left the game. So Colome's on the mound. We got a few substitutions, and we start off extras with Bo Bichette, who fouls this one off down the third base line, 0-1 the count. Another extra inning game for the White Sox. We've seen them win some and lose some. The second extra inning game of this series. This is lifted out in the right field. Mazara is going to be back and catch it just before the track.
I feel like whenever I sit down to watch this with you,
Yeah.
it always goes to extra innings.
I know, you've sat down here for most of the extra inning games. You're bad luck for a quick ball game. Everything goes longer with Dominic down here as Vlad Guerrero Jr. takes a cut fastball outside, 1-0 the count. Sox had a chance in the ninth inning with a leadoff single by Encarnacion. Robert made it to second. He was running on a ground ball to second by Mazzara. That broke up the double play as this is a can of corn to center. Garcia underneath it makes the play. 2 gone. But then Robert gets thrown out at third, and Madrigal is out shortly thereafter with the strikeout, and the inning is over. And Lourdes Gurriel, who's 0 for 4, still has a chance to extend his hit streak in extras. Inside cut fastball from Colome misses. 1-0 the count. White Sox have plenty of pitchers available as a cut fastball low and in. Catches a zone 1-1. Colome, his job is to just get him to the bottom of the 10th. Give him a chance. I don't know if he's going to go 2 here. His job is this inning. Misses outside in a 4-seamer. 3-1 to count with Teoscar Hernandez on deck. 2 outs here in the top of the 10th. Swung on and missed a 4-seamer. And that's a full count now as Colome fights back. Into the line quickly, the pitch. Fouls that off. Alex Colome is doing his best to go quickly through this inning, Dominic. So, I mean, it's working out well for you. Doing everything he can. Gets that one fouled off, though, and I'm starting to get a little annoyed with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. His 0 for 4-ness not going down quickly. And now he skies this one down the third base line. Fair ball inside the chalk. He's going to head for second. Jimenez going to throw it in. Close play at second. He is out at second base. His hit streak continues because he had a single thrown out at second. No matter. We go to the bottom of the 10th trying to win it. Thomas Pannone, 18 games, 20 innings, a 7.20 ERA, and the White Sox got after him in the second game yesterday. Opponents are hitting over 380 against him. That's not a good sign if you're looking for him to hold it in the 10th. Leury Garcia hoping to take advantage. He leads it off and immediately puts this one to right field for a base hit. 1 pitch, 1 hit. We're in business here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Herrera and Fry warm in the bullpen, but hopefully Tim Anderson can get Leury Garcia around. You got speed on the base paths with no outs here in the bottom of the 10th inning. And TA looking to keep things going. The lefty, Pannone, throws one low and outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Anderson's 1 for 4, the double and a third, a double here. Could quite possibly score Garcia depending on where it's hit to. He is a speedy runner, is a threat to steal. I don't know if he'll go. The 1-0 pitch misses outside, 2-0 the count. You got a pitcher that's struggling out there. You don't want to run yourself out of the inning. White Sox are currently a half game back from the Twins, who lost earlier today and will tie for first place with a walk-off win here against the Blue Jays. Inside 4-seamer catches the zone, 2-1 the count. High drama as my young color commentator looks exhausted and is getting sleepy next to the microphone. You going to make it through this game?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, hang in there. Something exciting is about to happen, I believe. 2-1 count. Misses low and inside on a curveball, 3-1. Yasmani Grandal stands on deck. He'll have to go back to hitting righty against this lefty. But first, let's see what Anderson does. Just don't want a double play ball here. Misses outside and walks him. So the winning run moves down to second base. Anderson doesn't matter much. His job is just to do good on the base paths. Try to break up any double play attempts. As Leury is the guy that crosses the plate and wins the game for the White Sox if he can get there. Yasmani Grandal is up 1 for 4, the single and a run. There are no outs here in the bottom of the 10th and 2 on for the White Sox. The pitch. Swung on and missed a 4-seamer outside. 0-1 the count for Grandal. You worry about him doing too much as he's been on fire lately and he might think, I've got to do this. But he's got Abreu behind him and Moncada after that. Quickly 0-2 as that one catches the lower outside portion of the zone. Comes back inside on him. He fouls it off, fighting off a 95-mile-an-hour 4-seam fastball. Count remains 0-2. Pannone checks Garcia at second. The pitch. Chops this one to first base. They're going to try to turn 2. Anderson cannot take out Bichette. It goes 3-6-3. The winning run's on third, but now there are 2 outs, and the White Sox need a base hit to win this game. It will not come off of a sac fly. It will have to be a base hit from Jose Abreu, or if he draws a walk, Yoan Moncada. Grandal angry with himself. He grounded that to first. They turned that really well. Anderson went straight into the bag. You can't go outside the baseline anymore with these new rules. He was almost on him, but Bichette did a good job. Now they're going to intentionally walk Abreu. Interesting decision here. He'll go down to first. Are they going to pitch to Moncada, or will they intentionally walk him as well to load the bases and put it out everywhere and go to Jimenez? Moncada walked off on them just yesterday afternoon. He's 3 for 4 with a home run, a double, and a single. I'm shocked if they pitch to him. They are going to pitch to him. Oh, make him pay for this, Yoan. First and third, the pitch. In the dirt, it's going to roll a little bit, but not get too far away, and Garcia dances down the third base line and heads back to third. 1-0 the count. Moncada's a triple shy of the cycle. I just need a single. The pitch on the way. Swung on and sent over to short, and it'll be a ground out. Fielder's choice. Flipped over to second base. Oh, I can't believe that paid off for the Blue Jays. We go to the top of the 11th, all tied up. Teoscar Hernandez steps in. He's going to get Kelvin Herrera here in the 11th. 21 in the third innings pitched, a 5.06 earned run average. 19 strikeouts to 8 walks. Righties hitting 118 against him. Lefties are hitting 347. Teoscar Hernandez is a righty. He's 1 for 3 as we start off the 11th with an inside slider for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Rough to see 2 on and no out and get nothing in the bottom of the 10th inning, especially when you have Moncada up there, who walked off in the 10th inning just yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader. They walk Abreu to get to him. And that has to frustrate him as he stands out at third base, as this is a strike down the middle. 1-1 the count. The pitch. Inside corner, fastball, 1-2. Now he dives outside with a changeup, 2-2 the count. My young Padawan learner is telling me that this is his last inning.
Yeah.
Because he's exhausted, and I get it. Swung on and missed a slider away. And Herrera sits down the first guy. I'm going to make you a deal, my friend.
Okay.
If we don't win this at the bottom of the 11th, we will quick manage until either the other team has scored. Here's what we'll do. We'll quick manage the Blue Jays side of the game, right?
Okay.
And just see if we walk off. What do you think? Four-seam fastball fouled off. I don't want to cheapen the game for other people, though.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm going to stick with what we're doing.
Okay.
I was going to do something nice here for you, but I want to keep the experience real for people.
Okay.
Randall Grichuk is 1 for 4. Low and away pitch makes it 1-1. There are some fans who have left now. I always find that amazing. It's an afternoon ball game. It's a tie game. You get disgusted, you walk out. What do you have to do? It's Sunday. Kids are going to run the bases. Misses outside 3-1. You've run the bases before. I never got to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't have that when I was a kid.
Well, our generation is better than yours.
Obviously. Although you did grow up during the time of COVID-19.
No.
That's a strike on the inside corner, 3-2.
My brother grew up.
You're growing up in it too. You're only 12. One day you'll be sitting around as an old person telling young whippersnappers, I grew up during a pandemic. Shaking your cane at them. Tell them they're lame for leaving before the game's over. 3-2 the count, the pitch. Swung on and sent out into right field. That one is curving. It will be fair in the corner. There was a shift on. Mazara can't get to it. On his way into third base is Grichuk. He's got a triple with 1 out here in the top of the 11th, and that's not what you want to see. Travis Shaw will come to the plate. He's been killing the White Sox all day.
We should intentionally walk him.
Is that your call? You want to intentionally walk him?
Yeah.
I think we should intentionally walk him too. Okay? We're going to do that because he's a lefty, and we know that Herrera doesn't do well against lefties. So he's going to intentionally walk him, setting up the possible double play. So Shaw goes down the first with 1 out. Here in the top of the 11th inning, Kevin Biggio is going to come in. Herrera will face Danny Jansen with one out and runners at first and third. Here we go. Misses low and away on a changeup, 1-0 the count. That's a good call, the intentional walk. He's been killing us, and Herrera matches up terribly against lefties, and we can't pull him because of these new rules. That was going to be his third batter face. He has to face a minimum of 3. Now he has faced enough batters, but he's got a righty in Jansen with Fry warming in the bullpen. The pitch. Outside, misses on a cut fastball, 2-1 the count with one out here on the top of the 11th inning and runners at first and third. There's enough speed at third base that a fly ball to the outfield is going to score him. Set down the third base line, fair ball underneath the glove of Moncada. A run is going to score. Jimenez gets it in. They're second and third. That's a double. And that blew up in our face.
Yes, it did.
I'm going to blame you. You brought in Kopech, he gave up a run. You intentionally walked Shaw to get to this guy, he hits a double.
Well,
You may never be invited back into the booth again. This team's 12 games over 500. Unbelievable.
Drink 'em.
Hashtag drink 'em. Your bad baseball advice is not good.
Well, yeah, because it's bad.
Jace Fry's going to come in now and face the lefty Derek Fisher. 11 innings pitched over 18 games. He's 2-1 with a 4.09 earned run average. Sox now trail by a run and have work to do in the bottom of the 11th. First pitch to Fisher is a ball. Into the wind in the second offering. It's bunted. Suicide squeeze. He tries to bunt. It's caught out of the air by Fry. The throw over gets the base runner, a double play. And now the White Sox go to the bottom of the 11th inning trying to get a run. And Eloy Jimenez comes up and takes a strike down the middle. Two-seam fastball from Ken Giles, the pitcher for the Blue Jays. He's the closer. He got chased in game 2 of this series, game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. This is his second appearance in the series. Jimenez is 0-1. And now he grounds one over to Bichette at short. Easy 6-3 putout. There's one gone. Sox need a run to tie, 2 to win. They have one out. James McCann comes to the plate. McCann's first at bat of the day. He came in after some substitutions required him to be behind the plate. Swung on and missed a four-seamer at the knees. 0-1 the count. The pitch. Hits the outside corner on a slider, 0-2. McCann stands ready. And here it comes. Swings and misses at an outside slider, not even in the zone. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 11th. And my son, I enjoyed having you up here. Remember, this game was brought to you by Cork and Carry at the Park, 33rd and Princeton. I hope we come back here, but it doesn't look good. What are your feelings right now? You want to try like a pinch hitter? Do you want to let Nomar Mazara go? He's 0 for 4. I'm going to let you bring it. All we got is Adam Engel and Danny Mendick left on the bench. And Mazara gives me about as good a chance as any of them. I'm going to stick with him. What do you think?
Yeah,
One last choice for you.
We should just stick with him.
We're sticking with him. All right. Well, you've been wrong so far, so I expect him to strike out on 3 pitches or pop out on the first one. 3-2 game. 2 outs in the bottom of the 11th. A frustrating one for the White Sox as a four-seamer goes across. 0-1 the count. They had plenty of opportunities to win this game in the 9th and the 10th inning. But it was the Blue Jays who get a big triple on a shift that gets busted up and eventually score a runner. 1-1 the count. Mazara now swings over a slider, 1-2. Even with the loss, the White Sox will be 11 games over 500 and a game out of first. The day off tomorrow, 2 against the Rockies, and then we're on the road to Minnesota. And it'll be time to test our mettle. And it'll be up to us to get first place because we will be in control of our own fate. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed on an inside slider. He's out, and the game is over. A rough one today to finish. White Sox unable to get the 4-game sweep, but they took 3 out of 4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. They lose in 11 innings here on Family Sunday. But I had a good time talking with you.
Yeah, so did I.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah? You going to bring this back to your podcast now?
Yeah.
You going to steal the audio and pretend that it's yours?
Well,
Are your simulated games as good as mine? What is the name of your podcast again? Sox in my bunk bed?
Sox in my bunk
Yeah.
bed, yeah.
What's your hashtag?
Hashtag drink 'em.
Hashtag drink 'em. I don't even know why you have that. You're 12 years old.
We'll be.
I know why, because you steal things from people. All right. 3-2 final. Sox get 2 runs on 11 hits with an error, and it was costly. They had every opportunity. They just kept shooting themselves in the foot today, and that's going to happen sometimes in the game of baseball over 162 games. The Blue Jays get 3 runs on 9 hits. Ken Giles comes in for the save at the end of the game with the inning pitched and the 2 strikeouts. But Thomas Pannone, who the White Sox beat up in that 9-1 victory yesterday, ends up with the win for the Blue Jays. The save goes to Giles. Herrera takes the loss. A third of an inning pitched officially, 2 hits with a strikeout and a walk, but he gave up the earned run. Yoan Moncada, 3 for 5 for the White Sox today with a home run, a double. He had the RBI and the run scored, but unfortunately, with runners on, they intentionally walk Abreu to get to Moncada, and he's unable to come through, but he did have a walk-off earlier on in this series. Tim Anderson, 1 for 4 with a double. Abreu, 2 for 4 with that intentional walk, and Grandal goes 1 for 5 only with a run scored. Those are your notables. This all brought to you by Cork and Carry at the Park at 33rd and Princeton. Use Grubhub or go direct to corkandcarryatthepark.com. My thanks to all of you for tuning in each and every time we do one of these. Every game since opening day, and we will continue to do it as long as needed. My name is Chris Lanuti. From my co-host Dave, who's not here today, and for my son Dominic, who hijacked the show, I appreciate you listening. We'll be back after the day off tomorrow for White Sox baseball, hosting 2 against the Rockies here at home before heading on the road for Minnesota and Baltimore. The White Sox are a game out of first place currently and 11 games over 500. This is a good team. It's all brought to you by the podcast for fans, by fans, and found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at SoxInTheBasement.com. Bye-bye, everybody.
Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement. Sox in the basement.
Sox in the Basement. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always on SoxInTheBasement.com.